This year, Daren, Thomas, and I are attempting to ride the 666 kilometers to the end of the Trans-Taiga road. The end of the Trans-Taiga marks the farthest point from any town via road in all of North America. And why are we going? Because it's there. I met Thomas at a gas station outside of Toronto.
You're good? Okay.
From here, we're riding north to meet up with Daren. Of course, leaving Toronto is never without traffic.
Well, we made it to North Bay. Sorry, I made it to North Bay. Managed to get off work a couple hours early. So just waiting for Peter now. Extra fuel for the Trans-Taiga. I get a hotel tonight, and then tomorrow we will step foot on the Trans-Taiga. That's the plan anyways.
You getting gas?
Just gonna pop off.
Okay. I'm just gonna go inside and change and go to the bathroom.
And we're back to racing towards the meeting point with Daren. He has already been waiting for us for a few hours.
Guess who decided to show up?
So we just met up, and now we're heading further north.
Today and tomorrow is about riding as many kilometers as possible to get to the Trans-Taiga. Around midnight, we stopped for some warm coffee. Daren booked a hotel 100 kilometers away in Rayun, Noranda. We had about another hour of riding left ahead of us.
So we just left Rayun, Noranda, and now we're on our way further north. The plan is to stop in Amos at Canadian Tire and head from there to the entrance of the good old James Bay Highway.
The only things that slow us down are the occasional construction zones.
I love it! Pizza! I love it! I love it too! So this is it. There's the James Bay Highway. Of course we're going to Matagami to fuel up. But there's the beginning.
Thomas, who always lagged behind, missed the exit to Matagami and continued on further north.
We're in Matagami! I think we lost Thomas.
He eventually realized his mistake and doubled back.
No, I'll fill it up at the Relay 387.
With the bikes filled, we now had to fill our bellies. Luckily for us, there's a delicious fried chicken place right inside the gas station. From this point on, the communities that we will be driving through are dry. As this gas station only sells beer, we're riding into town in search of a liquor store.
Apparently there's a grocery store somewhere around here where we can pick up some very important supplies.
You want to just wait here while I run in, and then we'll switch?
Alright.
Time to get back on the road.
Just have to take a picture. Did you get one of all of us?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, well then let's get going.
From this point on, we're riding on the James Bay Highway.
Lac Matagami.
The first thing that you have to do on this road is to sign in at the Kilometer 7 gate office. Where you are heading and when you are expected to return has to also be recorded. In case you don't come out, the authorities will have an idea about where to start their search for you.
This building looks way different.
Riding on this highway should never be taken lightly.
Limited stops if we're gonna make Trans-Taiga tonight.
Yeah, so right now, I guess our goal is the relay.
I'll have to stop somewhere to refuel, but we'll stop when I need to stop.
This is where the adventure begins. We hit the first construction stop about 30 kilometers in. From here, the traveling was slow for another 100 kilometers or so.
Way up there, on top of that hill, is Daren, and Thomas is right behind me.
This new tarmac is beautiful.
A couple years ago, this section was bone-rattling tough, and today, it's a brand new road. And now we're back on the old James Bay Highway.
The occasional stop for construction allowed us to catch up to each other.
Maybe you'll get kept up here.
He'll be part of the team again.
Past the construction area, the road opened up, and we sped through the stunted boreal forest. This gas outpost marks roughly the halfway point of the James Bay Highway. Along with the fill-up, we had a very short but much needed break.
Did you ask inside about the gas situation on the Trans-Taiga?
I did not.
Okay, I'm gonna go use the facilities. Roger. And I'll let you ask him while I do that.
Time to continue on if you want to reach the Trans-Taiga tonight.
Crap, I forgot to wash my visor again. I've been trying to wash it for the last 800 kilometers. No, I'm in third. So we are some 40 kilometers away from the Trans-Taiga Highway. Like always, we're running late. It's 7:42. As you can see, it gets dark quicker here in the north. We're going to be on the Trans-Taiga in about a half an hour, and then we're heading about 50k into the Trans-Taiga. There's a nice little campsite. We'll probably get there after dark. So typical adventure. You aim for 7, you get there at 11. But as you can see, beautiful ride. Nobody on the highway, cruising at 100. I'm just burning the miles. Alright, so the GPS is telling me that the Trans-Taiga is somewhere around here, 1.4 kilometers away. I wonder if that's it.
And then, in the dark, we made it onto the Trans-Taiga.
Whoa. We did it! And we are on the Trans-Taiga, and it's really dusty.
Thomas was having a hard time keeping up with us. He lacked off-road experience and was struggling on the deep and loose gravel.
How you doing?
I'm alright. I don't think I can go very fast.
Good to go.
I decided to ride with Thomas to make sure that nothing went wrong.
Yeah, I'm behind him. We're going like 64 right now. He slows down on the turns, but he's doing okay.
Shortly after 9 p.m., we arrived at the turnoff to our campsite. The boys were mesmerized by bear scat.
Tell me how warm it is.
Made it to our campsite. Have a little rye, some smoked salmon, campfire. It's gonna be a good night. Tell me about your day.
It was good. Just too many kilometers.
How's the vodka? Is it delicious?
This is disgusting, so I had to put some orange juice in it.
What kind of Polak are you?
The one that enjoys citrus fruit.
The next morning began slowly. Slightly hungover and not in a rush to face the weather, we stayed in our tents for as long as possible. Something bit me on the eye, but I'm just too tough to care.
Nice, miserable morning. But what do we have here? Tasty wild blueberries. Good enough for the bears, good enough for me.
Eventually, after a light breakfast and some coffee, we slowly took down our camp and got ready to ride. A final goodbye to our host, and we took off.
Take care!
It was a miserable morning. The temperature was hovering around 10 degrees Celsius, and the rain was giving no sign of letting down. But we had to continue. We took a slight break at the LG3 airport. Thomas was struggling with riding on the wet and loose gravel, but his spirits were high and there was no sign of quit in him.
He's alright, he's right behind me. Well, not right behind me, but close enough.
Pit stop at the LG3 airport. Talking to a guy here. He said it's not supposed to stop raining today. That could be
Thomas kept falling further and further back. Keeping a constant speed on the wet surface was a struggle for him. I watched my mirrors to see him come out around the bend later and later each time. And then... we slowed down and waited, but after not seeing him for a while, we had to turn back. Thomas was picking up pieces of his bike when we arrived. He hit a patch of deep gravel with his front wheel, lost control, and crashed. Thomas and I zip-tied the bike back together and used rock straps to secure his ripped-off panniers. But Thomas insisted that we should continue. He said he would feel awful if we had to end our trip because of him.
And then there were two.
So that happened.
We agreed that he should limp back to Radisson, and we would continue on to the Mirage Outfitters. From there, we could contact each other. If Thomas was having bike problems, or if we didn't hear from him, we would go back to assist him. And if everything was okay, Thomas would ride back home the next day, and we would continue on to the end of the Trans-Taiga.